uh, speaker istimewa, dan karena istimewanya jadi yang datang untuk ikut Indo Service juga lumayan istimewa. Banyak. Mungkin sebelum kita mulai, kita adakan sedikit survei aja. Kalau biasa kita ada sempat kenal-kenalan, tapi ntar kenal-kenalannya mungkin setelah acara selesai bisa. Mungkin sedikit survei. Karena di sini banyak orang Indo, cuma pengen tahu aja semuanya datangnya dari daerah mana kira-kira, demografi. Ada yang datang dari Kepulauan Jawa? Yang Medan? Sumatera? Sumatera lah, Sumatera. Kalau Sulawesi? Nggak ada. Kalimantan? Jadi yang tadi nggak angkat tangan daerah-daerah mana ya? Bali? Hah? Malaysia? Oh. Ada lagi yang tidak angkat tangan? Yang tidak angkat tangan sekarang. Jadi kayak kebanyakan semua dari Kepulauan Jawa, kalau enggak Sumatera ya. Ada yang ini enggak, daerah-daerah yang lumayan istimewa? Banyakan mungkin kalau Sumatera dari Medan, kalau Jawa dari Jakarta, kalau enggak Bandung. Ada yang daerah-daerah kecil, Duri. Ada yang musyar, enggak ada yang musyar. Ya, tapi mungkin cuma pengen tahu aja sekedarnya kira-kira kawan-kawan dari mana. Jadi biar lebih kenal-kenalan dikit, ntar setelah acara selesai kita bisa kenalan lebih lanjut. Dan ntar mungkin acaranya kalau kalian mau bertanya, speakernya juga sangat berkenan untuk menerima pertanyaannya. Dan sebelumnya saya serahkan dulu ke Ratna untuk introduction speaker hari ini. Terima kasih.
Halo, selamat siang semuanya. Dan senang sekali ngelihat antusiasme dari kalian semua untuk datang dengerin Dhamma hari ini. Dan emang benar kata Welly, emang speaker hari ini sangat spesial sekali karena datang all the way dari Jakarta, tapi sebenarnya dia dari Europe dan sengaja mampir ke Singapura untuk memberikan sharing pada siang hari ini. So sangat beruntung sekali, ya. Oke. Topik hari ini adalah the practical approach of Dhamma in daily life. Speaker kita hari ini adalah Brother Irvin Wongso, lahir di Medan, tanggal 31 Oktober 1978. Sejak kecil sangat antusias dengan segala sesuatu yang berhubungan dengan Buddhisme, hingga pernah dilarang oleh orang tua karena takut menjadi bante. Sejak itu mulai mendalami berbagai agama dan sempat diwisudi secara 3 tradisi agama Buddha di dalam perjalanannya mencari jati diri. Dari mendaki pegunungan Himalaya hingga tinggal di dalam goa di tengah hutan demi mendalami praktek Buddha Dhamma. Dan selama 11 tahun bersekolah, bekerja, membangun perusahaan di Australia, hingga saat ini kembali ke Indonesia sebagai CEO atau President Director di perusahaan keluarga di bidang retail, distribusi serta edukasi musik yang saat ini adalah yang terbesar di dunia. Saat ini menjabat sebagai Vice President of Buddhist Fellowship Indonesia, Ketua Bali Usada Meditation Unit Kelapa Gading, the founder of White Ocean Society Indonesia, dan Dhamma Duta yang aktif berbagi Dhamma baik di wihara maupun perusahaan. So, marilah kita bersama-sama menyambut dengan hangat speaker kita pada hari ini, Brother Irvin Wongso.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dhammang care sucaritang natang ducaritang cari. Dhammang care sukhang seti asming loke paramhija. Hiduplah sesuai dengan ajaran Dhamma, tidak mengikuti jalan yang salah. Mereka yang hidup dengan mempraktekkan Dhamma berbahagia di kehidupan sekarang dan yang akan datang. Selamat siang semuanya. Terimalah salam dalam Dhamma. Namo Buddhaya. Pembicara yang spesial. Apa maksudnya ya? Ya, buat saya ya suatu kesempatan yang spesial bagi saya. Ya, untuk bisa hadir di sini pada hari ini, bertemu dengan saudara setanah air, saudara sedhamma yang berbahagia di tempat yang ini. Actually, long time no see. Ya, kita sudah sering berjumpa di banyak kehidupan. And now we meet again. Di dalam kondisi yang begitu baik, di dalam persaudaraan Buddha Dhamma. So, nice to meet you again. Ya. Topik hari ini, tadi saya mengatakan saudara sedhamma yang berbahagia. But, apakah benar sedang bahagia? Siapa yang sedang bahagia saat ini? Oke. Apakah semuanya Buddhis? Apakah semua Buddhis bahagia? So you guys are special Buddhist because you're Buddhist and majority bahagia. Apakah tapi kalian Buddhis dan bahagia tetapi kalian tidak sedang menderita? Ada yang sedang menderita juga? Ada yang sedang suffering? One. Ya. Apakah benar kita sedang bahagia? Apakah benar kita tidak menderita? This is the most basic questions in Buddhism. Yeah. In fact, this is the first Dhamma as taught by our great teacher. Sabe sangkara dukkha. Ya, hidup adalah dukkha. Then are we not Buddhist? Do we not realize that our suffering is dukkha? But we want to be happy. Tadi sudah dikatakan tidak harus Buddhis baru bahagia. Setuju. Apakah harus jadi Buddhis baru sukses? Ya, tidak. Apakah jadi Buddhis lebih sehat daripada agama saudara kita yang lain? Yes, tidak juga. Apakah jadi Buddhis pasti masuk surga, lebih gampang masuk surga daripada saudara kita yang lain? Tidak, semua geleng-geleng. Lantas, kenapa kita Buddhis? Why? Why are we here? Why are you here? Why am I here? I'm here because I was invited. But why are you here? Do we understand? Ya, jadi di kehidupan saya yang sekarang tadi sudah sedikit dijelaskan. Saya numpang lahir di Medan. Numpang ya, tadi banyak orang Medan ya. Hokkien wae ya, tampo-tampo lah ya, oke lah. Sampai umur 3 tahun saya pindah ke Jakarta. Lahir di keluarga yang miskin ya. Rumah tua, kamar cuma 2, yang tinggal mungkin 12 orang. Ya, karena papa saya yang kecil, ya, jadi kita sering tidak kebagian kamar. Akhirnya nih plafon kita bolongin, kita kasih alas, ya, kita kasih tangga, ya, dan di sanalah kita sering tidur. Kemudian anicca terjadi. Ya, papa saya yang saat itu sebagai bekerja di pabrik bagian kebersihan, pindah dapat tugas di nggak tahu desa apa kota ya, kota Besitang. Ada yang tahu Besitang? Tuh orang Medan pun kagak tahu. Ya, nah berarti ya cukup terpencil lah ya, di sana pabrik kayu lapis. Di sana kita tinggal di sebuah gudang. Ya, gudang sekolahan. Nah, ada seorang guru di sini ya. Sekolahan ya, kita pinjam gudang itu ya. Ya, tapi saya tidak pernah ingat di dalam memori saya bahwa saat itu saya menderita. Saya kagak ingat loh. Kalau sekarang kita mengatakan, oh ada orang hidupnya demikian, tidur di plafon, tidur di gudang, our perception will think that, oh he is suffering. But as far as I can remember, I don't remember that. Ya, pada saat banjir, ya, flooding, water coming in our house, yang saya ingat saya happy. Bahkan in my memory, as I remember, I made this perahu kertas. Oh, very happy. Pada saat tinggal di gudang, keluar rumah, langsung sampai sekolah, nggak usah jalan jauh. Very happy. But now, why do we think that that kind of person must be suffering? Why? And for sure, none of us here want to live like that. And you feel that you are happy now. But are you sure? Maybe not. Anicca terjadi ya. Papa saya dapat pekerjaan di Jakarta. And the whole family moved to Jakarta. Ya. Dari langit-langit, tidurnya sudah di bumi, sekarang pindah ke Jakarta. Dikasih rumah, dikasih mobil, dikasih supir. Lebih bahagia nggak seharusnya? Ya. Logically, oh that person has come out from his suffering. Ya. More well. Ya. Ternyata setelah di Jakarta, very suffering. Ya. Setiap hari saya tersiksa, ya, dipukulin dan sebagainya, baik oleh orang teman maupun guru, kepala sekolah. Ya, pernah satu hari lagi ada kompetisi bulu tangkis, ya, ditanya, siapa bisa badminton di sini? Ya, biasalah malu-malu nggak ada yang ngaku gitu ya. Dan kebetulan ya saya nggak tahu kenapa ngangkat tangan. Ya, gurunya langsung bilang, nggak ditanggapin dulu. Ditanyain, siapa yang bisa badminton di sini? Saya sudah angkat tangan. Terus karena nggak ada yang angkat tangan, gurunya akhirnya bilang, kamu gendut begitu mana bisa? Hah? Nanti mati loh. Ya, tapi karena nggak ada yang itu, akhirnya ya oke lah, ya minggu depan ya kamu ke situ. Ya, dianterin. Ya. Minggu depan pulang dari badminton, bawa tas langsung ke sekolah, saya masih ingat. Ya, sampai di sekolah, gurunya nanya, gimana? Ya, di depan kelas nih, ya kalah. Gurunya malah bilang, tuh kan udah dibilang gendut gak mungkin menang. Ya, you see, enakan tidur di gudang, di langit-langit daripada di Jakarta. Ya, nah, Pernah juga satu hari orang tua saya lupa tanda tangan agenda semacam harus menyerahkan sesuatu lah. Saya juga lupa ingat. Ya, dan lupa bawa pula. Nah, sampai di sekolah, ya otomatis dihukum lah. Sekolah zaman dulu masih hukum. Ya. Keliling lapangan, lari. Ya, dan selama 1 bulan, jam makan siang tidak boleh makan. Ya, selama jam makan siang aku berjanji, bukan panatipata tapi ya, berjanji tidak akan lupa bawa buku agenda. Aku berjanji sampai bawa, hapus, ulang lagi, tulis lagi. Ya, bayangkan orang yang makmur seperti saya, gak usah jam makan siang, setiap saat pun lapar. Ya. Jadi bayangkan selama sebulan akhirnya saya tidak mau sekolah lagi, gak mau sekolah. Ya, dan bilang ke orang tua gak mau sekolah. Kenapa? Ya akhirnya diceritakan. Ya, sejak saat itu saya menjadi orang yang introvert. Kadang-kadang mau pipis ke WC aja pun kayak dipalak begitu, dia didorong. Ya. Not happy. Ya. Lebih happy tidur di langit. Ya. Nah, anyway, tetapi dari sana, sejak saat itu, setiap kali pulang sekolah, saya langsung ke kamar, masuk lemari baju, tutup pintu. Sekolah, lemari baju, sekolah, lemari baju. I don't know why, but I feel happiness inside the cupboard. It was dark, pengep, but happy. Logically, people would think, oh, he must be insane. How can he be happy inside the cupboard? So, if life logical, yang seharusnya happy tidak happy. Yang seharusnya tidak enak ini happy. So, are you sure you are happy? Because this is the very foundation of why the Dhamma is taught by the Buddha. Siapa happy di sini? Now nobody raise his hands. But this is a good start. Jalan mulia berunsur 8 yang pertama is to have right view about our life. And what is right view? That life is dukkha. Life is anicca. Life is anatta. Do you see that? But apakah berduka itu sama dengan berduka? Ya. Apakah ketika Sang Buddha mengajarkan, oh hidup itu adalah duka, kemudian Sang Buddha dengan penuh kesedihan, penuh kejengkelan? No. Dukkha is not berduka. This is also needs right understanding about our life. So, back to my cupboard. Yeah, I felt very happy there. I didn't know that what I was doing. Yeah. Seems like I was meditating, but nobody taught me. Yeah. And then I remember, saya nonton film silat. So my first teacher was this monk in the movie, Shaolin. Yeah. Bodhidharma Tatmo. Tahu ya? Nah, he was my first Dhamma teacher. A Hong Kong actor pretending to be a monk, teaching meditation in a cave. So that cupboard was my cave. And I felt very happy. Setelah itu, saya sangat aktif belajar anything to be Buddhism. Anything to yang berhubungan dengan Buddhisme. Semua gambar-gambar Buddha saya clipping, dikasih liontin oleh Suho, oleh Bante, waduh segepok, wah seneng banget setiap hari liatin, wah very happy. Yeah. Finally I felt happy in Jakarta. Yeah, finally, because of Dhamma. And then my parents saw that I was almost becoming a monk. Then stop! No more Buddhism for you. No more. Tidak lagi dibawa-bawa ke wihara, ya. Tidak lagi diajak ketemu suhu Bante, enggak. Karena kenapa? Suatu hari pada saat mama saya mau ke Cina, adik-adik saya nitip mobil, pedang, saya nitipnya jubah. Nitip jubah. So from that moment on, no more Dhamma, no more Buddhism for you. Okay? Bye-bye happiness. Ya. Ajahn Brahm baru give a talk in Jakarta, judulnya Hello Happiness. For me, that was bye-bye happiness. Bye-bye Dhamma. So, ever since then, I learned the Alkitab very diligently. Pada saat SMP, saya ke sekolah di sekolah Kristen, juara 1 agamanya. Ya. Mimpin doa, kebaktian, melayani di rumah ibadah mereka. Wah, very imannya kuat, pengetahuan pun kuat sekali. Ya, belajar agama lain juga. Half of my life I was studying in a Christian school. But rasanya ada sesuatu yang salah. Ada satu kerinduan. Ya, ada sesuatu yang kosong. Ada yang hampa. In fact, forget the PowerPoint deh. Saya kalau bicara memang suka agak ngelantur. Ya. Because I'm not the type of, I don't consider myself as a speaker who have a set of topics, this is my template. No. Ya, so kalau ada waktu baru saya tunjukin deh nanti. Then you will understand why. Yeah. You have heard too many Dhamma. You have met with too many special people. But does Dhamma change you? Maybe, maybe not. But this is more important. So, sampai mana tadi? So, ngelantur lagi. Hah? Ada yang kosong. Saat itu sudah mulai ada internet. Ya, sudah mulai orang tua sudah nggak bisa blacklist ya. Mulai belajar, akhirnya very happy back. Very happy. But something wrong. Kenapa? When I have this Dhamma knowledge, every day saya kerjaannya login to forum-forum Buddhis, forum-forum agama, and berdebat. Mahayana, you compassion, but teori nggak ada. Cung cep, damanya mana? Kayak yang Theravada, teori suta hafal, hati nggak ada compassion. Ya, akhirnya saya diwisudi di ketiga tradisi. Kenapa? Ketemu suhu bilang, oh, you dulu tuh suhu loh. Oke. Kepret di Wisudi. Ketemu Rinpoche, dulu kita sama-sama di Tibet. Thupten Kunsang. Ketemu Bhante, Thailand. Do you know who you are? Kepret. So, how can you be more Buddhist than I am? I'm very Buddhist superficially. I have so many Buddhist names. I've learned all the sutta, Mahayana Sutta, Theravada Sutta, Vajrayana Sutta. I go to Himalaya, hike the mountains, look for teachers to have the Dhamma discussion. Very special Rinpoche. Am I happy? Is it important to be happy? Even dogs can be happy. You just give him roti. Ekor-ekornya udah goyang. Very easy to be happy. But is that the point why we are here? Simply to be happy. This is a very important question, at least for me. Yeah? If we want to be happy, I don't need to be Buddhist. Ya. So, anicca kemudian terjadi. Ya. Anak yang introvert akhirnya dengan Dhamma, saya sempat belajar banyak bela diri. Kenapa? Hatred. I want to kick his ass. Ya, ya. Who bullied me last time? Yang mendorong-dorong saya di kamar mandi. Ya, akhirnya saya belajar taekwondo, thai boxing, karate, jujitsu, kenjutsu, judo, to have revenge. Yeah, but that gave me courage. Now I can talk to you guys. Last time, even to my own family, I always look down, cry. Family time, I was always in the bedroom. Nggak bisa boro-boro bicara sama orang. But because of the fake Shaolin monk, but real Dhamma, it changed me. And I was starting to become a leader. Ya, SMP menjadi ketua OSIS dan sampai Australia. Lulus SMA pun dengan Academic Honor Society. Yang tadinya selalu, susah lulus. Ya, susah. Ke sekolah aja not happiness. Bagaimana mau lulus dengan nilai yang baik? It's impossible. But it's changed now. Changed. Dhamma changed me. Not always in a good way because I started to debate. Yeah. But somehow it does change something. In Australia, ya, mulai sekolah, mulai gampang punya teman, lulusnya pun top, ya. Kuliah, ketemu pacar, ya. Mulai susah sekolahnya because distracted, almost kagak lulus, ya. But there's a different kind of happiness there. I didn't used to have many friends, but now I have friends. I have girlfriend, happy, but distracted, hampir gagal lulus. Yeah, friends. Now I have friends who like to modify cars, change pelek, happy, but almost kagak lulus. Now I think, is this something wrong with happiness? Kenapa sejak happy hidup saya menjadi kacau? Have you ever experienced this kind of happiness? Is that the happiness in Dhamma? Now the next questions. Is the happiness in Dhamma the same as the happiness in non-Dhamma way? Tadi yang merasa happy, are you sure your happiness is in accordance to Dhamma? You have said you don't need to be Buddhist to be happy. You don't even need to be human to be happy. Which happiness do you have? This is very important. Otherwise, we don't really have faith in the Dhamma. Ya, so lulus selama 8 bulan tidak dapat kerjaan karena sekolahnya IT, ya, computer engineering from Australia. Boom, Krismon, IT bubble burst. Nah, teman-teman saya yang kerjaannya modified mobil, ngerokok, udah kerja semua. Ini yang orang dalam tanda kutip yang pinter, no job. Even my girlfriend udah kerja duluan. Ya, so very not happy. Ya, ratusan lamaran yang saya kirimkan ke seluruh benua Australia, berbagai kota, nggak ada yang mau terima. Akhirnya diterima. My office was a caravan. Ya, sebuah karavan jauh dari kota. Ya. Jalan tol pun sejam lebih tanpa macet, which is very far kalau udah ukuran di sana, very far. Ya. And then, ya, not happy. Sekolah susah. I know my parents too was not very proud kok kantor cuma kayak begini? Ya. Nah, kemudian mulai bikin perusahaan yang tadi dibacakan tadi itu. Ya, buka 1, buka 2, and then we have to close down everything, bankrupt, not profitable. Ya. Why? Hidup itu seperti itu. Sudah Buddhis, sudah tahu Dhamma, sudah bisa jago berdebat malah, sudah meditasi. Ya, what's wrong? And us here, you probably face the same thing. This is where Dhamma comes in. It's not about simply being happy. We don't know how many karma we have done in our countless life. The purpose is not simply being happy, but it is to understand why things are like this. Yatha bhutanya nadasana, to see things as they are and to understand. And this is the very seat of happiness in Dhamma. We don't have to be Buddhist to be happy. Being Buddhist doesn't make you more successful than the others. You are not healthier. You don't live longer. But we must understand more. If you don't, then we are not really Buddhist. Because we don't use the Dhamma well in our life. So, now, saya banyak diundang sharing Dhamma di Indonesia. Ya, kalau nggak dibatasin, mungkin setiap minggu pun bisa ada 3-4. But I have to limit. So now maybe 1 month, at least 5 maybe ya. Itu pun sudah direm lah. Ya. Kalau nggak bisa dikomplain oleh orang di rumah, ya. But I'm not even a Romo Pandita. I never consider myself as a Dhamma speaker. That's not my point, yeah. And I had this opportunity to meet new friends like what we are having today, and that's happiness. Making new friends. But on the other side, I also see that Buddhists are not really that happy. Even the Pandita, sometimes they have curcol with me. Ya, datang suruh, Bro Irvin, kok Irvin datang ya 2 jam sebelumnya, ini ada bakmi enak nih di Tangerang. Oh, oke dah. But it's never about the bakmi. It's about the curcolism. Curcol. Kenapa orang-orang Buddhis itu begini wihara tuh. Ada pula bahkan mantan bante. Ya. Why are we not happy? And the response was like you guys, siapa sini Buddhis? Ya, siapa sini bahagia? Ya, setelah dikasih bacot 5 menit, siapa happy? Nggak ada lagi. Standard. It's a SOP that we have here. But this is Dhamma. Then you will understand why the 4 Noble Truths starts with dukkha. Why? Is Buddhism a pessimistic religion? No, that's the truth. If you look deeply, then you will understand. But dukkha is not berduka. Nah, so how much time do I have? Ini baru intro. Apa? Oke, jam 3.30 ya. I'm not going to show all these boring slides. In Indonesia, I was forced to make this kind of presentations. They always ask, what's the topic? Is it going to be entertaining? Is it going to be funny? This is Buddhist problems. Ya, tetangga kita ke masjid pun nggak tanya topik hari ini di masjid atau apa. Kagak ada. Saudara-saudara kita yang Katolik hari ini misalnya akan membacakan apa topiknya? Kagak ada. Why Buddhists need topics? Why? We keep saying Dhamma itu indah pada awal, pertengahan, akhir. Tapi yang ditanya pembicaranya siapa ya? Topiknya apa ya? Why? Do we really care about the Dhamma or do you care about the speaker? Ya, but anyway, karena udah diminta ya, let's see something boring here. How to enlarge? F5 ya? Huh? There is no F. Okay. Oops. Okay ya? No. So our point bukan hanya cari bahagia, but kebahagiaan yang sesuai Dhamma. And what is Dhamma? Dhamma leads to liberation. So as a Buddhist, as a Dhamma practitioner, don't just look for happiness. It's like you have an iPhone 6 Plus harganya 16 juta, but you only use it for Facebook. Why do you spend so much money on Facebook? As if you have Dhamma, but you only look for happiness, which all of us here agree you don't need to be Buddhist to be happy. You're wasting your life. We are wasting our precious moment being born as a human, which is extremely very difficult, to meet with the Dhamma, which is even more difficult, but we only use it for Facebook or happiness. Why? So don't just look for happiness. Kebahagiaan membebaskan. Niramisang sukhang. That is the happiness we must look being a Buddhist. Samisang sukhang is the happiness that we already have. Samisang sukhang. Kebahagiaan yang berkait. You want a car, you get a car. Samisang sukhang. Your car baret, you dukkha. Right? That's the happiness. You want to sehat, you sehat. Sukha. And then you sick again. Dukkha. That's not the Buddhist happiness. Ya. Ada dua orang jalan. Happy. Sukchai. Ke bahasa Thailandnya sukchai. Dua-duanya dompetnya kecopetan. Ya. Pada saat belum kecopetan, dua-duanya happy. As you can imagine. Ya. Orang yang pertama kecopetan, dia tidak tahu dia kecopetan. Dan dia tetap happy. Why dia happy? Because he doesn't know that he's been kecopetan. He doesn't know. That's our happiness. We feel happy because we don't know. Right? Orang kedua kecopetan. But he understand. Oh, dulu saya copet kali ya. He understand. And then he accept and he let go. Happy because he understood. Different. Same copet. Different mindset. Different happiness. So can you differentiate Niramisang sukhang and Samisang sukhang? Can you differentiate which happiness you have? Can you differentiate which happiness we should be looking for? Press this. Am I happy? Raise hands. Standard. But do you have right understanding of your happiness? Do you have a right understanding about your life? About yourself? Because this is very basic. Happiness is not important. Right understanding is, because that's Dhamma. Everybody has seen this picture. There's even one behind me. Yes. What does it say? You know, you've seen, but do you understand? Apa maksud beliau? Ya, ini adalah apa? Saat Pangeran Siddhartha lahir, ya, semua tahu, anak saya pun tahu. But what does it say? Ya, you know the Buddhist story, you know the Buddhist myth, you know the Buddhist tradition, but do you understand the Buddha Dhamma from this picture? Ya. Ketika beliau lahir, yang kita ingat apa? Jalan 7 langkah, keluar teratai, tangan kanan di atas, tangan kiri di bawah. That's all we remember. And then beliau mengatakan apa? Some remember, some don't. Ya, ada yang mengatakan, oh akulah yang tertua di muka bumi ini, aku yang ini di muka bumi. And then beliau juga mengatakan, inilah kelahiranku yang terakhir, tiada lagi kelahiran kembali bagiku. Right? But what does it mean? What does it mean? It means seorang bodhisatwa yang di dalam pengembaraannya begitu lama, ketika lahir jadi manusia kembali, baru nginjak bumi aja dia sudah tahu apa tujuan hidupnya, yaitu untuk mengakhiri kelahiran kembali. Inilah kelahiranku yang terakhir. Whereas us sudah lahir 20, 30 tahun, 40 tahun, bahkan 70 tahun, 80 tahun. Do you understand why are you living? Dan apa purpose-nya? Or are we just routines? Zombies, wake up, eat, study, look for money, evening maybe, I don't know, have sex, sleep. No difference to chickens. Bodhisattva teach us the first Dhamma. You were born as human, do you know your purpose in this life? About your birth. Yeah? So, have a purpose. Siapa yang sudah jelas tujuan hidupnya? You all agree to be born as a human is very precious. So what are we gonna do with it? Ya, boleh tahu siapa yang sudah punya tujuan hidup? Ada? Why are you in Singapore? Enakan juga Jakarta. Do you know why you're in Singapore? Macet ya? You're running away from dukkha? That's why you're here? No. Yeah. So this is the first. Yeah. Why do we need this? Because if you don't have tujuan, then you wouldn't know what is important in your life. Kalau orang, katakan ada murid, dia punya tujuan, oh saya harus lulus ranking 1. Then he can easily say, then studying is more important than playing, right? But if he doesn't have that goal, which is more important? Dia akan galau. Dan akan main kayaknya. Because he doesn't have that goal. Karena dia tidak tahu apa yang lebih penting, then he will be very difficult to make priorities in life. Which is more important? Family, work, spiritualism? Which is more important? He cannot make. Padahal dengan bertambahnya waktu, peran bertambah. Tadinya cuma sebagai anak, kemudian menjadi seorang sahabat, menjadi seorang pacar, menjadi seorang suami, istri, nantinya orang tua, mertua, dan sebagainya. Many peran yang harus kita pikul. Baru peran yang satu aja udah bingung, pusing prioritasnya. But dengan bertambahnya peran, how do you manage? Dengan bertambahnya peran yang paling bawah, tuntutan dari setiap peran bertambah. Mertua mau kamu begini, orang tua mau kamu begini, bos mau kamu begini, anak mau kamu begini. Ya, belum lagi tuntutan pribadi, pengharapan pribadi. Kemudian terjadilah konflik antara pikiran dan perasaan, antara realita dan pengharapan. Kemudian konflik. What happened next? Buntu, hilang arah, lupa diri, hampa. Karena hidup kita penuh konflik dan kita tidak berdaya. Sudah tahu yang benar harusnya begini, tapi kita tidak berdaya untuk keluar. Tahu yang benar ini, tapi perasaannya nggak sesuai. Bagaikan zombie. Kita hidup bagaikan cuman puppet yang dikendalikan oleh tuntutan orang lain, tuntutan hidup. But we are not happy. And then kita melakukan pelarian. Pelarian dari yang simple-simple, bangun tidur langsung main BB. Dunia maya, social media. Dunia nyata enggak? Do you know why orang Jepang suka ngecat rambut? Dengan komik-komikal yang dibikin dunia-dunia itu. Ya, naik tren pun semuanya plugged in. As if they are connected. Padahal the point is to be disconnected from real life. Ya, melarikan diri. Ya. Yang ekstrim, minum, rokok, narkoba, dan yang lagi hot, selingkuh, bunuh. Why? Semuanya kalau kalian lihat karena tidak memiliki tujuan hidup yang benar. Can you see this in your life? Yes? And it's not gonna end, you know? You think, you come here, you berdana, you pay respect to Bante, this is gonna end? No. It's not. For many, many countless lifetimes to go. Yeah, but we are very lucky. Why? Because the Dhamma makes us realize this. So it's not enough to be Buddhist. It's not enough to know Dhamma unless we realize something very precious. Yeah, happiness in Buddhist is different. Happiness in Buddhist, yeah, 사레자 사라다시노, yeah, 때 사랑 나디가 잔디 밑자상 가바고 자라. Yeah, we see what is not important as important, what is important as not important, and those who have wrong view will never find something precious in their life. A Buddhist, 사란자 사란또 나토아, 아사란자 아사라도. 때 사랑 아디가 잔디 삼마상 가바고 자라. We see what is precious as precious, what is not precious as not precious. And those who have right view, right understanding of this life will actually find something precious in their life. Jadi sama nggak being Buddhist and not? It shouldn't be the same. It's definitely different. It may look the same, but that's because we don't understand. When we understand, there is nothing like the Dhamma. That's where faith comes in. Saddha dasana mulika. We have faith in the Dhamma, not blindly, because we understand. Ya. Kalau tidak punya tujuan, ya, sesungguhnya you all busy every day, pusing, ya. Banyak kesibukan kita yang sesungguhnya tidak jelas, ya. Banyak permasalahan kita yang tidak beralasan. It's all happening because we don't have clear understanding, clear direction in our life. We make our own suffering. When you practice the Dhamma, you too will suffer. Yeah, but again, in the Dhamma, happiness is two different kind of happiness. Suffering is also two different kind of suffering. Yeah, is your suffering a suffering worth suffering for? Samisang dukkha atau niramisang dukkha? That way is suffering. That way too is suffering. But that way, that suffering is towards more suffering. This suffering towards liberation. Do you know where you are now? Do you know where you are going? So you can see, happiness is not the most important. Suffering is not the worst thing in life. This what makes Dhamma so very, very precious. We understand. Do we understand? What's next? Yeah. So fine. All purpose. Whoever we are. Yeah. Find what we love to do. Passion. Not because of tanha, greed. No. Because of chanda. Ya, suatu keinginan yang luhur, ya, tulus, in accordance to the Dhamma, passion. Kemudian, passion is not enough. You have passion, say like in, say music. Yeah? But are you good at it? It's not enough just wanting this. I have passion in dancing or photography or computer. It's not enough. We have to be good at it. Mengasah skill. Yeah? Is that what the world needs? I'm talking this is the level keduniawian dulu. Yeah? Be realistic. Does the world needs your expertise? Yeah? And can you be paid for it? To earn a living from it? If we have this in the middle, we have a combination of our passion in life, our mission, which is also our profession, and our vocation, and in the middle is our meaningful life. Siapa di sini yang sudah mendapatkan kombinasi yang seperti ini? Ada? You know what? This is the basic answer I get. But when I show this to my Christian friends, oh, sudah tepat hidup saya. Why? Buddhist jarang. Yeah, when I talk to a vihara, even in a Buddhist group in the companies, like for example, I talk in Astra, Honda, Wings Group, Wings Corp, and Buddhists very high positions, but they are not happy. They are just simply stuck there. No passion. Passion used to be there, but the condition is not right, and then patient die. Yeah? Is he good at something? Yeah, he used to be good, and then the newcomer comes, he's better, and he died. Are we in that position? Yeah? And then we are stressed. Kenapa orang baru gajinya lebih besar daripada saya? Yeah? Kenapa orang saya udah mati-matian tapi yang sukses adalah dia? Have we reviewed our positions? And this is in accordance to the sutta. First, have chanda, passion. From chanda, virya, semangat, energy. And then citta, you put your whole mind into what you're doing, focus. But also the fourth one is vimamsa, review. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it in the right time? Am I skillful enough? If not, yeah, it's very hard for Buddhists to be successful. Yeah. So where are we? Yeah, we come here every week, listen to many great people, special speaker, which I don't consider I am, by the way. But it's not important. Yeah, we must understand our own life. In the time of the Buddha, Buddha will share Dhamma, something that you need, suitable for you. That's why one sentence, oh, Sotapanna, Arahat. When I speak, unfortunately, by the end of the session, we will not become enlightened. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, but that's the Dhamma today. Yeah, I cannot make anyone enlightened. I can make them perhaps realize something, but not realization. You must find your own. And our job as a Kalinamita to support each other. Yeah? So, your purpose in life. Ada yang ulang tahun bulan ini? Yeah. What do you say when people ulang tahun? Ada? Ada. Saya yakin ada. Yeah. Anyway, happy birthday. Semoga sehat, panjang umur, sukses, bahagia. Right? Ditadami kata. You don't need to be Buddhist to have this. You want to be rich, you want to be respected, you want to be healthy. Yeah? We want this. But it's not enough. Because when you are sehat, you have money. Are you happy? No. You're happy for a while, and then bye-bye happiness. Yeah? That's why Sang Buddha mengatakan, have samparai kata, higher goals in your life, a spiritual happiness. Yeah? Happiness when you do a kindness to other people. Yeah? As simple as smiling. When you give dana, you feel happy. Not when you get, you give. Yeah? Even when you say hello to someone and he smiles and you smile, you smile, is a very non-materialistic happiness. Yeah? So ketika kita memiliki yang ditadami kata, but yang nomor 2 kita tidak punya, you will be very rich, but sufferingly rich. Hampa. Even if you do number 2, you do kindness all the time, you have probably random kindness every day. Yeah? Will you be happy all the time? No. Why? Because you still have kilesa, kekotoran batin. You still have anger. You still have greed. Yeah? You still have the not knowing mind. That is why we need to have a paramata. Yeah? Practice the Dhamma to uproot our kilesa. Are we doing this? Because this is what the Buddha wants us to do. Not just dana, not just being rich. It's okay to be rich, but it's not it. Yeah? This is Buddhist. This is Buddhist. This is how we should live this. And this is not paket hemat that you choose one by one. It has to be moving forward and upwards. You don't choose, I only want the paramata, only meditate. You cannot. It has to be gradually, systematically improved. This is our purpose, whoever we are. Right? Okay. Now I'm not going to show you this. I'm going to show you another slide, which is my recent nanti di akhir I expect to have some discussion because that's more important. I'm just sharing generally, generic. I'm not the Buddha. I cannot share something that you need. I can only share something that I know. Yeah. So I was actually quite suffering. Yeah. Not suffering in the normal terms. My life is good. I have happy family, business is good, profession is good. I have many friends. Every week I make at least 100 new friends because diundang kemana-mana. Yeah. And I meet many suffering people. I meet many bhante, many special speakers because at Buddhist Fellowship Indonesia we invite so many speakers. I have learned from so many teachers. I've learned this tradition. I've done all kinds of meditation technique. Ada yang mengharuskan jhana, ada yang vipassana. Ya, itu pun yang di luar yang I used to do this funny meditation like nafas kelinci ya. macam-macam untuk mencari happiness. Nafasnya gitu-gitulah, lucu banget lah. Nah, but setelah melakukan itu, saya jadi sakti loh. I know what's going to happen next. Something open ya, but still not happy. Tantrayana saya ikut, yang Vipassana pun, yang Goenka, yang Mahasi Sayadaw pernah ikut, yang Jana pun ya macam-macam lah. Ada yang harus seperti Ajahn Brahm yang let go, nimitta muncul. Ada yang benar-benar systematically, oh jana pertama ini begini harus dikejar. Macam-macam. I've tried all, but still not happy. Even though I've reached, maybe this is also pride, mana, kesombongan. I've reached some sort of level. I've seen lights, stay, everything, but not happy. Why? That is why this slide is very important. So, I have a Kalyanamitta that I curcol to. And I really curcol. I tell him, now, I know lots of Dhamma. I even share Dhamma. I even teach meditation. Why am I not happy? Oh, have you met this Longpo? No, I met many Longpo. I don't want Longpo. No, this is special. Okay. I was in Thailand, December. Okay. In that case, can I offering lunch to him? Okay. He agreed. And then suddenly he said, aduh, sibuk, besok tiba-tiba nggak bisa. Okay. Ya udah, we flew back to Indonesia. On Sunday, he went to see the Longpo. Longpo come. He came, and then Longpo called him. You were too busy to bring your friend yesterday, right? Kaget, padahal he never told him about me. Bring him back. Longpo said to my friend. Okay, then he line me, WhatsApp me. Wow, Longpo said this, so you have to come back. And then I told him, I don't want to just come back to offer lunch. I want to practice with him, to live as if I'm among with him. Terus he said, oh, very difficult. Even Thai people are not allowed, katanya. Even monks are not accepted sometimes, a lot of the time. And then he told Longpo, and Longpo said, okay. Can I bring friends? What are the names? Saya tunjukkan, ada beberapa orang mau ikut. And then he showed Longpo. Longpo said, this one, okay, no, okay. Okay, sorry. I don't know why. So anyway, we go there. Looking for Dhamma. What is Dhamma? Do you know what is Dhamma? What is Dhamma? This word is overstated but under-practiced. Even anak sekolah minggu tahu Dhamma. What do I mean by di mana Dhamma? Dhamma diambil dari kata dar. Dar adalah menyokong, menahan. We said Dhamma adalah ajaran, adalah kebenaran. Yes, it's all right, it's all true. But Dharma is to hold. To hold from where? To hold from us falling down to suffering. Menahan kita tidak akan jatuh lagi ke alam rendah, ke dalam penderitaan. Now we know Dhamma, but we still fall, right? So I look for, where is Dhamma? Why do I still fall into suffering? So here I go. And before we arrive, can you see the beautiful rainbow there? It's very beautiful. 5 minutes before we arrive, that's our plane in the middle. It was encircled by a very beautiful circular rainbow. And then Ya, hidup sederhana 10 hari in the forest, not in the temple. Ya, even the underwear juga yang pakai buang. Yeah, because this is completely new for me. Yeah, something that I really looking forward to it. 2 or 3 days before, I was in America, staying in a hotel, even flying business class. But all my mind was, wah, tinggal di hutan, very happy. Hotel, boring lah. Yeah. Very happy. So this is pelataran. It's not even pelataran. My cave is somewhere there. Somewhere there. So ini dari tempat parkirnya dah. Tiba di wihara hutan. So from Bangkok, you still have to fly about 2 hours to Leh, near Udon Thani, and then take cars about 3 or 4 hours, then you get this place. And then you have to walk 1 hour to my cave, penetrating the jungle, the forest. This is the very happy me. This sign, it says, oops. It's okay. Anyway, it says, beyond this signage is no longer a part of the temple. You enter with your own risk. Something like that. Karena di situ ada tempat perburuan. Binatang buas. You get out of here, is kama yoni, kama bandu, kama patisara, your own kama. Okay. It also says, this area though, is the place where the Ajahn Man used to practice 100 years ago. Ajahn Man is the teacher of Longta Mahabua, Ajahn Man, or Ajahn Man, Ajahn Chah, Ajahn Brahm. So this is the great grandmaster of the forest tradition. He used to practice there with all his enlightened disciples. So I was very privileged to enter that place. So 1 hour walk through this kind of pathway. It's not even pathway. Can you imagine at night when you have to go to the toilet? Ya, sudah ada dibikin jembatan juga untuk dipermudah. Luckily, the big cave, many big caves. And when you walk here, even di siang hari, you get goosebumps all the time. All of us. You don't know why. Kok tiba-tiba berdiri? Sekarang pun jadi berdiri juga. You get goosebumps all the time. 45 minutes masuk gua, keluar gua, masuk hutan, keluar gua, masuk hutan, keluar gua untuk sampai ke my cave. And we stay individually in our different caves. Now, this is some who were accepted by Longpo. 5 of us, including Brother Heru, the big guy. Now, keluar di sana, he lost 7 kg. Resting in the cave. This is my daily activity. Sometimes we get Dhammadesana in the forest, bukan pelataran. This is not the Longpo, this is just ajan biasa ya. And when ketika mendengarkan Dhamma di sini, ular lewat, kita kaget loh. Ajan cuma bilang, it's just snakes. Why you're so shocked? It's just snakes. But that too is Dhamma. It's just snake. Kalau kita, oh snakes! It's just snakes. Can you see the different mindset? This is Longpo. The first time we met Longpo. Ada yang bisa menebak kita ini lagi ngapain? This is the most beautiful Dhamma I've ever heard. In 30 years, I've studied the Dhamma. Can you imagine what he say? What would be your most beautiful Dhamma? Siapa yang mau coba? I've learned the sutta for almost 30 years from all tradition, but this is the most beautiful one. I have met all great monks. This is just silent. Long Po didn't say anything. We stayed like that for 10-15 minutes. And we were all crying. I cannot explain to you. But that's the most beautiful Dhamma. The unspoken Dhamma. Yeah? Can you imagine this all crying? And then his first words were, I've told you, long time no see. Now we met again. His second words were, last time when we met, I could not help you, but now I can. And then more crying. Very simple words. You would hear it all the time. Long time no see, siapa belum pernah dengar? But what is so different in this case? I don't know. Even the fat guy cries. Yeah? I cannot explain. Yeah. And then the third sentence was, now you have come home. And you can stay here. Why? Kenapa he said that? Because not everybody can stay here. Not even bhikkhu. Ya. Harus lewat QC dulu. Then you can stay here. So we feel very privileged being allowed to stay here. This is not a retreat center, no. No, this is a very special place. And then when we were talking, we talk all the time, even not through our mouth, yeah. Long Po read our mind. And then kita berpikir, kenapa begitu spesial tempat ini? And then dia jawab, because I built this place for Nibbana. Only very serious people can stay here. Oh, very serious. Dan kemudian di dalam pikiran kita bertanya, banyak orang serius kok. Banyak Buddhis yang serius. And then Long Po answer without us saying, serious for what? Serious to attain enlightenment in this life now. So this is what happened every day. We never say something, but he always answer. Yeah, and then Long Po said, "I'm sorry. Long Po speak no English. Yeah, little. But Long Po speak Dhamma language, heart to heart. Just like when Long Po talk to dogs, to the birds, they understand. Do you understand? Yes. And every day we listen to Dhamma talk in Thai language, but we understand. Have you heard that kind of Dhamma before? We understand. We cry, even though it's Thai language. So this is why I said the most beautiful Dhamma. Yeah. So this is one of my cave. How much time do I have? 3:30, yeah. Yeah. When I'm talking, sharing story about my life, this can take forever. So you have to cut me, right? Okay. Like I said, I don't have templates. I'm not a professional speaker or Toastmaster champion. Yeah, okay. Every day, Long Po would ask us, how you sleep? Yeah. And we say, oh, very happy, very good. Bahasa Inggrisnya memang cuma begitu aja. 2-3 kata aja. Happy. Padahal malam pertama, Itu semut merah semua menggerogoti badan kita. Semut merah yang besar-besar itu loh. Waduh, masuk ke celana, berdarah. And we don't kill, right? We don't kill. Ya. Dan saat itu kita setiap jam pasti terbangun. 1 hour wake up, meditate. Right? You cannot sleep anyway. Merah. And then Longpo said, you happy? Happy. Padahal nggak bisa tidur. And then, you ask for it, remember? Yes. Okay. Now you move cave. Every day move cave. Lebih jauh lagi. Ya. Kalau the teachers on the first night is the right ants, the giant right ants. The second night adalah dewa salju. Ya. Every time you close your eyes, you feel very cold. You sleep, you feel cold. Even my friend, brother Heru, the big guy, dia kalau di tempat salju pun keringetan biasanya. Ini very warm, but he was shivering in the same place. I cannot explain why. Ya. Setiap kali tutup, but when you open your eyes, it's gone. Close your eyes or sleep, shivering. Yeah. In the morning, Longpo asks again, how you sleep? Good, good. Yeah. Okay, good Nggak ada good nya nggak ada. Itu mas English ya. Move cave. Malam ketiga dewa bau bangkai. Every time you close your eyes, all kind of smell yang sampai kalau baunya itu sampai nyengat di kepala itu loh. Pernah nggak? Bukan cuma bau gitu ya. Bau bangkai, bau amis, bau pipis, tapi yang nyengat. Aduh, sampai kerut lah pokoknya. Cannot sleep. Ya. Malam keempat. This is very special cave. Very far. Ya. When you close your eyes, ada yang anyway, kenapa kedap-kedip? Did I press something wrong? Oops, okay. Yep. Ada yang berjalan. Ya, jadi kalau dari belakang ini, dari belakang ini ke samping. When you close your eyes, and then you ngintip nothing, nobody. And then, okay, serak lagi kita udah nggak ngintip, kita udah tahu pasti nothing kan. And then nih, jubah bantingnya dipukul-pukul. Ngintip, nggak ada. Oke. Sekarang dia, kita nggak ngintip. What happened? He came around and put his face in front of your face. You can feel. Yeah, and then you feel, I think I need to open my eyes now. You open, it's nothing. Yeah. And then, every night we are giving a candle. One candle is about 3 hours, 20 minutes. So you know when it's dark, oh udah 3 jam meditasinya kurang lebih. Yeah. At that night, candlenya baru seginilah. Tiba-tiba, mati. Yeah. And then we open our eyes. You see so many distractions. Before I go to the forest, I think, oh meditasi di alam pasti enak gitu ya. No. Yeah. Boom. Gelap. And then, udah mulai nih, dak dik duk. And then suddenly, there's this voice, noise, or rather sound that is not from this realm of manusa. Yeah. And then you see hands, boom, black color hands. Only the hands, no body. Tangannya tok from across. And then, lilinnya nyala lagi sendiri. See your mind now. No, seriously, see your mind. What's happening in your mind now? You are not there. I was there. But see your mind. Can you see your mind? Happy, not happy, tegang, sedih, takut, iri, benci, serakah, mau ini, takut lagi. In the morning, Long Po asked, did you see your own mind? Yes, Long Po. This is the most important questions since I become a Buddhist. We see many things. We meet many people. Yeah, you do many things, chanting, meditating even. But you don't see your own mind. You see your own mind, which is not even your real mind. Now do you see? Yes. All the Karanamita Sutta chant, may all beings be happy, they all run away. Run away. And then Long Po said, you know Dhamma, but you know Dhamma. That is why you suffer. You think, and then you follow your thinking. And then you think that your thinking is right. And then you think that your thinking is you. And then you feel. And then you follow your feeling. You feel that your feeling is right. And you feel that your feeling is you. Thinking, feeling, suffering. That's why you come here, right? Yes. I can only share the words, but Long Po actually shared the unspoken Dhamma. But he answered the questions. That's what we do all day, every day, many lifetimes. Think, feel. We look out, we see people, we judge people, we analyze, we feel I like this, I don't like this, or neutral, hate. Tiring. Yeah? Bring your mind home. Your mind has been wandering for so long out there at people, at the snakes. Oh, this is ghost. Oh, this is that. Future, past. Why? Do you know why? Because you are homeless. Your mind doesn't have a home. Doesn't have a home for the mind to stay. That's why you are suffering. And the Dhamma, because you are homeless, the Dhamma cannot stay in your heart. That is why you come here. So, bring your mind home. And don't send your mind out. Bring your mind home. Don't send your mind out. Setelah itu, ya, in the darkness of the forest, setelah semua guru-guru ini bekerja, mengeluarkan semua kilesa-kilesa kita untuk supaya kita melihat dengan batin kita sendiri, oh inilah aku. Berlalu, and then suddenly, there's a moment where everything stop. When everything stops, light appears. And this is not nimitta light, no. Nimitta is the light from concentration. This is aloka udapadi, the light from within. When the light from within appears, there is no day and night. All this darkness, the moonlight, there is no darkness. At that moment, even though you close your eyes, you can see. You can see 360 degrees. There is no day and night. There is no fear. There is no attachment. And that is true happiness in Dhamma. But only for a tiny bit of seconds. And then it's gone. And then the next day I asked Long Po, I experienced this. So? Kalau guru biasa akan bilang, wah, good. Long Po, okay, so? What do you want to ask? Wah, this is different ini. All my life, saya selalu dipuji Bante. Wah, your Pali language is very good, your meditation is good, concentration is good. Ini cuman, so? And then I asked Long Po, when the mind is at that stage, I asked Long Po, where is my kilesa? Where is the kilesa? Udah begitu tenang, saat itu badan sudah hilang, nafas sudah hilang, cahaya sudah datang. Where is the kilesa? Long Po said, why did you ask? You asked where is kilesa. But when you ask that kilesa, where is kilesa, you are out from that state, correct? Yes. Then why did you ask? That's kilesa. You're looking for kilesa, but you don't realize it's that kilesa doing to you. You ask. You think that is Dhamma. But that's kilesa. Do you not see? Boom! Right. I've never been taught Dhamma in this kind of way. Yeah? We're looking for kilesa without realizing that's kilesa. We're looking for Dhamma without realizing, oh, this is Dhamma, dukkha is Dhamma, but we're running away from dukkha. We're running away from Dhamma. So, now I see, every moment we cannot differentiate. And then Long Po said, you understand your kilesa, then you will truly understand Dhamma. Understand kilesa. What I can share probably hanya bagaikan segenggam daun di hutan Urwela. The words only. But I cannot really express what I felt that moment. So every night, if you're lucky, you get moonlight. If you're lucky. That's my villa. With the ribuan semut. Dhammadesana mungkin selesai jam 9 dan you have to go through this pathway back to your villa. And then you get sakit perut. Usually I never get sakit perut during the night. But there ada dewa sakit perut. You don't know why. Kenapa harus sakit perut bukan di business hours gitu ya? Nah, luckily I bought Softex. I was in US. They have some kind of Softex for unisex. So you pee there, it becomes gel. Cannot pour. I was lucky. But itulah. Semua uncomfort itu keluar, dikeluarkan seakan-akan for us to see who we really are. You think you come here find suffering? No, you see your own kilesa. So that's why I said happiness is not the most important thing, but is to understand who we are. Every night, Jam 3 pagi we wake up untuk menemani para biku untuk pindah patah. Jam 3 bangun itu para biku sudah nyapu. Ada masalah, ngepel. Very beautiful scenes. Kalau di Indonesia kebanyakan kan office boy ya, temple boy. Ini biku nyapu, waduh. Very heart touching. In the middle of forest. And then meditate. About 4:30, we starting to walk to the closest village. We, the lay people, which is only me and Brother Heru and this my Thai friends, nobody else. Because that temple is nobody, only us and the monks. It's not allowed for even Thai people. So we feel very privileged. And we have to leave 30 minutes earlier. Why? Because the bhikkhu fly. Not fly, but almost flying. The way they walk. Jadi kita jalan 30 minutes earlier, they reach there 30 minutes ahead of us. In total darkness, no torch, mindfulness walking, but very fast. Ya, jadi kita, dan ini jalan, you see, no sendal loh, hutan loh, batu kerikil tajam-tajam, dan begini-begini. Kalau kita menurut hukum fisika, kalau lagi nanjak pasti speednya menurun toh. Ya, force, mass time, acceleration, pasti menurun gitu. But biku hutan, same speed. Cannot explain why. Ya, padahal udah member celebrity fitness, udah ikut pilates, kalah sama biku hutan. No explanation. Yeah, but very happy to be there. When we reach there, para biku sudah ngantri. Aduh, malunya luar biasa. Every day, kalah. Para biku sudah ngantri di tempat spot ini. This is about maybe half a kilometers before they reach the village. Nah, satu hari, Longpo selalu paling belakang. When he came, he will check, seperti zaman Sang Buddha, check the jubah, apa rapi apa enggak, check the bowl, and then give a bit of dhamma. Yeah. When I was there, as if I'm living in the time of the Buddha. Yeah. One day, see, not enough time. Yeah. Seriously, you have to cut me. Yeah. One day, Longpo come and seems to be marahin biku. Waduh, kita dak-dikduk. Karena biasa kita lihat biku kan, wah gini-gini. Belum pernah lihat biku memarahin biku loh. Ya, karena ini memang bukan tempat untuk umat awam biasa, but we are treated as we are living there untuk mencapai kesucian. Dan melihat sendiri bagaimana kepala Bante menegur bikunya. Ya, ada satu biku muda yang dimarahin. Tanda kutip ya, jangan pakai pengertian biasa loh, dimarahin. Why? Ya, ketika saya minta ditranslate oleh orang Thailand, karena saya mendengar aja deg-degan. Waduh, belum pernah lihat biku dimarahin loh. Biasa kan kita sangat mendewakan biku ya, tanda kutip orang Indonesia khusus ya. Wah, dimarahin. Ketika saya tanya, kenapa? Wah, Longpo menegur. Kenapa? Karena biku ini jalannya sangat pelan, dalam tanda kutip, tidak terbang. Ya, dan tidak happy, raut wajahnya tidak happy. Dan Longpo menegur, kenapa kamu begitu? Kamu tahu, umat sudah menunggu dari pagi di depan rumah mereka dan bersujud menunggu kita. And you not sukcai, not happy. Why? Yeah. This is a training. Yeah. You should not be like bong. Nah, ini sisi lain yang kita tidak pernah dengar. Yeah. For them is never about the food. Longpo makannya 2 minggu sekali. Itu pun cuma 2 liter air. Itu pun air hujan kalau dapat tumpahan. It's never about the food. It's about the practice. Ya, jadi sampai di sana, ya berjalanlah. Nah, kalau ini jalannya sudah pelan, very mindful, ya, karena udah sesi pindah patahnya. Kalau tadi itu sesi terbangnya, nah ini sesi pindah, udah pelan ini, udah pelan sekali. Nah, sampai, so see, very happy to be temple boy. Nah, ini pun sesi damanya luar biasa. You know, I have this privilege serving the bhikkhu next to Long Po. Yeah. But it's never about just holding the ember. Ya, saya selalu di samping beliau. Setiap kali pikiran saya melantur, Long Po menegur saya. Anatta, he calls me Anatta. He doesn't to call me Irvin. You, Anatta. Anatta, Buddho. Maksudnya meditasi. Buddho. Oke. Long Po. Ngelantur lagi, nggak ada 1-2 detik. Anatta, Buddho. Oke, Buddha. Sepanjang jalan setiap hari, have you ever been taught Dhamma that way? Always don't send your mind out. Buddho. Yeah, so this is not just Pindapata. All the way is Dhamma. Oops. Yeah, back to the temple. I have to fast forward a little bit. Serve the Dhamma, serve the bhikkhu, menyerahkan, ya, makan, there's no chanting in the forest monastery. No kepret, no blessing, no gelang ini, semua nggak ada. The only way Long Po and the monks chant is during dana makan. Ya, seperti biasalah. Sabhi itiyo viwachanto saparoko inasato mat te bhavantu antarayo sukhe dikhayo ko bhava. We've heard that all the time. But in that place, everybody cries. Why you guys not cry? In that place, everybody cries. I don't know why. Yeah. Ya, sisa-sisanya baru kita makan. Sisa biku ya dari Pindapata. Sehari sekali and at breakfast ya. About lunchtime. They eat about 8 o'clock after the Pindapata. No more food for the rest of the day. That's one of my cave. Where I'm standing here taking the photo, belakang saya adalah Bat Cave, Batman. Ya, kalau malam keluar semua tuh, kadang nabrak lampu saya. Ya, Bat Cave. Ya, ada. Sometimes during the day I meditated here. Another cave. Every day move cave. Baru hari terakhir dikasih kuti. And inside the kuti is the real human skeleton. So every day we see tengkorak inside the kuti. And tokek yang besar. Tokeknya nggak mau keluar. So enakan di cave sih sebenarnya daripada kuti. Ya, yeah. This is Long Po before we leave. Ya. Selama 10 hari bersama beliau, setiap hari mau mengundang Long Po ke Indonesia. Nggak bisa, nggak boleh nanya, gitu, segen. Ya, Dhamma, mau ngekat Long Po, will you come to Indonesia? Nggak enak gitu loh. Sampai hari terakhir, akhirnya kayaknya saya harus nanya, tapi belum berani nanya juga. Akhirnya Long Po nanya, okay, I will come. So Long Po comes to Indonesia end of this month. Very, very grateful. Yeah. So if any one of you were in Indonesia, I invited Long Po to BFI, Buddhist Fellowship Indonesia, tanggal 30 hari Sabtu. 30 tanggal 2. Yeah. He's very special. And I've met many monks, great monks. But He's not well known. Nobody will know him. Even if I go to Thailand now, I cannot go to him. I don't know where he is. Yeah. The vihara, no signage. Mau pakai Google Earth, no signal. Nobody. He's nobody, but very special nobody. Yeah. So this is the end of the photo. So my point is, what is my point? Be grateful, but not that kind of gratefulness. Be happy, but not that kind of happiness. No. Understand why all these are precious. Whoever we are, whatever profession we are, when we understand, then we accept. When we accept, then we can let go. And that's the happiness in Dhamma. Yeah. The happiness in Dhamma is not the usual happiness. And the suffering in Dhamma is not just suffering. It leads to liberation. And it starts from our gratefulness in Dhamma, being born as manusa, which is the first level of Sugati realm, alam bahagia. So we are sudah terlahir di alam bahagia, but you're not bahagia. That means there is something wrong with our mind. There's something wrong with our mind. We are in Sugati level 1. If you're not happy here, what makes you think you will be happier up there? When there is very hard to find the Dhamma. That is why all bodhisattvas come to the realm of Manusa to practice the Dhamma, which we all have right now, right here. Suffering, sure. Happy, so do we understand? If we understand, light will appear. There is no more day and night. Luang Por asked me, what is more beautiful, the sun, the moon, or the stars? What would you say? Which one more beautiful? And then he said, the sun, the moon, the star is not important. What's important is what's in your mind, the light in your mind. Why bother about the sun, the moon, and the star? Don't send your mind out, bring your mind home, and the true light will appear. And the light appears, you cannot even see the sun, the moon, or the stars. Aloka Udapari, that's enlightenment. Why bother about the sun, the moon, and the stars? Bring your mind home. Bring your mind home. Buddho. Very simple Dhamma. I tried to talk sutta with Luang Por. Luang Por said, don't talk textbook. See your own mind. Why talk textbook? The mind. This is what mindfulness means. Mindfulness, everybody talks about mindfulness. Mindfulness means don't send your mind out. And you will be not just happy, but free from suffering. Okay, I've been cut. Okay, thank you. Semoga apa yang bisa saya sampaikan ya sedikit banyak bermanfaat. Idhame punyang nibbana sapacaya hotu. Semoga dengan berkah yang kita miliki mengarahkan kita pada pembebasan sejati nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.